Good evening, Alicia. This is the video post for the discussion question that you posted. One of the things that I liked that you spoke about was the fact that you talked about sex as um, being truth, as not being truth focused information with respect to biblical context. And I found that by you saying that, it intrigued my mind because I never really thought about it like that. And you kind of connected the pieces together for me when you said that. I found that to be a very interesting point that really had me think and take a little more inventory in regards to how sex is really portrayed, especially to our young people. The second piece that also intrigued me was you talked about the emotional, psychological impact that casual sex has on children. And you had made the quote of stating that for young men, depression is higher for those who have engaged in casual sex versus those that have not. And then for females, that the risk of suicide is increased from those who have had casual sex versus those that have not. And I found that to be stagnating. When I read it, I found it very stagnating. It was just so mind-boggling to me because when you think about what you learn about sex 20 years ago versus what's being taught now, you don't really see the gap of it, and you don't really have an opportunity to see some of the effects of it unless you're personally equated with it. And then the final piece that you talked about was that casual sex is not just is more than just a physical act. When you made that statement, it reminded me of the reading McElhaney and Bush, where they talked about on page 26. Some individuals have been disappointed to find, as they move from one sexual partner to another, that not only are they not finding ultimate pleasure, but they are feeling worse about themselves and their many sexual partners. And that was just so profound to me because of the fact that a lot of times, like you said, sex is just promoted as just being a physical thing when in reality it is not. And the sad truth of it is that additional piece, or the backgrounding pieces, are not being taught to our children. They're not being taught to young people in general. So with those 3 points that you pointed out, it really gave me some perspective in regards to our youth, and kind of to reach out to see what they know, what they don't know, what they understand, and what they kind of think for it to be. And then it also allows me to understand where my roles may be as I encounter young people, and how their views and their perceptions can be misconstrued and they can be warped, and thus lying the responsibility of what we are to deposit within young people with regard to sex, and what the responsibilities are that come with it, what the precautions are with it. But then even those things that are less talked about, like you said, the emotional psychological impact that's on them. A lot of times that's not really depicted. It's all about the good feeling, the good measures, the good things, but those other aspects, the other pieces of the individual's life, those things are really not spoken about. They're not really dwelled upon. They're not really connected so that young people can understand that these are also the additional pieces that come with that. So I thank you for your post, and I thank you just for allowing me to obtain clarity from what you received, because in what you received, it helped me to get a better understanding of what role or roles I need to play in regards to educating those that are young about the effects of casual sex. Thanks, Alicia. I'll talk to you soon.